Jesus. Good morning, Father. Good morning, Holy Spirit. Before the noise of the day, before the emails, before the meetings, before the traffic, before the deadlines, I come to acknowledge you, the one who watched over me while I slept, the one who kept my heartbeat through the night, the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps. Psalm 118 verse 24 says, "This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." And so I rejoice. I rejoice because I am alive. I rejoice because your mercy woke me up. I rejoice because another week has been placed in my hands. Good morning, Jesus. I surrender this week to you. Take the lead, guide my feet, order my steps. Let your will be done. Amen. Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Lord. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for life. As this day rises, as this week begins, order my footsteps and let me win. Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, King. I place this week into your hands. Go before me, stand beside me, cover me, Lord, again and again. Thank you for life. Father, thank you. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the gift of another morning. Many slept yesterday and did not wake today. Many started last week but did not see this week. But here I am, not by power, not by might, not because I am stronger, not because I am wiser, not because I deserve it. I am here because mercy spoke. Lamentations chapter 3 verses 22 to 23 declares, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. New mercy for a new day, new mercy for a new week, new mercy for new opportunities, new mercy for unfinished dreams, new mercy for new beginnings. Thank you for preserving my family. Thank you for preserving my health. Thank you for preserving my purpose. Thank you for preserving my destiny. Lord, I do not enter this week complaining. I enter this week thanking you. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for what you are about to do. Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Lord. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for life. Hey, as this day rises, as this week begins, order my footsteps and let me win. Oh, good morning, Jesus. Good morning, King. I place this week into your hands. Go before me, stand beside me, cover me, Lord, again and again. Good morning, Jesus. When I look back, I see your fingerprints. When I look around, I see your faithfulness. When I look ahead, I see your promises. You have been better than I deserved. You have been kinder than I imagined. You have carried me through storms. You have sustained me through disappointments. You have protected me from dangers I never saw. Psalm 103 says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." Today I remember the prayers you answered.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. I just pray that God is in your glory today. Praying for your praying for you, health and strength today. Praying for you today. Praying for whatever's on your mind today. You know what you're going through. God knows what you're going through. And he's gonna work it out for you. You just gotta hold on, be patient, and give it to him because he will handle it. Let's go into our Father's prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy you are the kingdom, the power, and all the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Yes, I thought I would just play that little prayer song with you this morning because I'm just getting up not too long ago. Yeah, I'm just getting up not too long ago, and the thing is that when you first get up in the morning and stuff, it gets a little your mind is still a little foggy. It's still a little foggy, but I'm coming out of my sleep. And I pray that everyone had a wonderful, wonderful, had rest well last night. And today you have a wonderful, wonderful day as you go to work, school, or to whatever you have to do today. I just pray that God's covering over you. God will keep you covered in the blood of his son Jesus, and that he'll give you traveling grace as you travel to and from to your destination. Okay, so that's what I wanted to just say to you this morning. But I wanted to just talk about this because it's been on my heart, it's been on my mind, um, about these Indians that's in the United States, and I don't see immigration cracking down as hard on the Indians as they are to the Africans, the Haitians, the Latinos that are here overstaying they visas or they TPS status. And I'm not saying this to be mean, and I'm not really saying this to be prejudiced or anything, but I think America needs to start sending everybody that came here for opportunities or whatever. I think it's time now we start shutting our doors. You know why? Because when you think about it, there comes a time when nations go, not nations, but places go under famine and they have droughts and things and they can't really afford to take care of everybody, everybody, fairly and equally or whatever, everybody. And exactly. And I just think it's time now that these people go back to their own countries and build their own countries. I'm sorry. Because the thing is that we gave them the opportunities here. But what about us? We got to think about us too, you know? You got to think about the fact that, God forbid, if America have to go into a famine, a drought, whatever, and we need TPS, and we need sometimes people to open their doors to help us out. Are they going to help us? Are they going to give us return the same kind of kindness that we have given them to open our homes, our doors, and the opportunities that they were able to get here? No. So it's time now that God didn't say we have to, it's good to be kind to the stranger, but it's also good for people to remember and to return the same favor too. It's called repossession. It has to be returned. We can't get it returned when we keep opening our doors and letting people just flood on in here and just have the best of everything here. And then, God forbid, if anything happened to us, where do we get the same favor? They letting them in our politics. They opening businesses. They opening hotels. They opening this. And as sad as it may sound, now I see why they've been under attack. I see why that Indian woman or whatever, her husband, that Indian woman was hammered to death by that Haitian in front of her store when she came out. Hey, what are you doing? Because they could be very arrogant, very nasty, because America is giving them too much advancement over even American people. And I'm talking about black American people. Look at Cash Patel. Look at what's his name? Vivek Ramaswamy. They don't deserve to be there. And then for President Trump to go and endorse this Indian woman over that what's her name? Letitia James. Now I'm not voting for Letitia either, but I'm just saying, I'm not a Letitia James fan either. But if I feel like I didn't have either one of them, I didn't, one is a foreigner, an immigrant anyway, and the other one is a person that I'm not fond of, I'm just not going to vote for neither one of them. And that's just going to be my choice. I'm not going to pick no favoritism. And I just thought that was I thought that was very wrong of President Trump to do that. And I just called it out. I'm sorry, it was wrong. And then you got those Indians and giving them, advancing them in politics and everything. They shouldn't be advanced in our politics. They shouldn't even be in our politics either. Politics in America should only be the American people. And when I say the American people, I'm talking about native born American people. I'm talking about American people who have history and roots here in the United States of America. I don't think we should be giving opportunities like that to immigrants. Because if they want to go and do something for politics, they need to be in their own country trying to fix the politics there. They need to be building in their own country. They should be able to take the opportunities, things that we taught them here, and they had the opportunity to learn the things they learned while they was in America. I believe they should take that into their own country and try to fix their own constitutions and their own infrastructure of their government. I'm sorry. I don't think they should be sitting in our politics over our heads, giving us, and they came from failed nations and countries that are, third world, and they going to come and get, no, 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 no. We don't do that. We shouldn't be doing that. Not saying we don't do it. I don't think we should be doing it. And that's why I said these Indians need to go just like everybody else. They need to be dragged out of here just like that. Like I said, the way you cracking down on immigration and birthright fraud and all of that other stuff, they need to get the same treatment like everybody else. We got to be fair across the board because God don't show no favoritism. If that's going to be the rule, it should be the rule across the board for every foreigner or every immigrant that comes into the United States of America. And me, I have a problem with immigration, period, in America. I don't even think people should be given the opportunity to naturalize. I just think they should just, if they come here, they only come because of TPS. America opens their doors to them for TPS status. If they having wars or famine or whatever is going on in their country, they could get to come here and live, temporarily or whatever. But I don't think we should be giving anybody immigrants to naturalize here or those kind of opportunities in America, because we want to keep our own identity and we want to keep the way things are supposed to be in America only. And we're not going to keep compromising to make it comfortable for them to stay here. So I just think that these things need to be fixed in our immigration laws because it's becoming a problem and it's starting to become fraud. A lot of people are coming here not for the right reasons. And I just think it's now that we really crack down and let these people go back home and do what they have to do in their own country. Because God forbid if anything happened to us and we need a place to go, they ain't got nothing to offer us. They're not going to offer us the same opportunity. In the Bible, it also says, love thy neighbor as thyself. And we seem to miss that part. We can't love everybody and nobody giving the same back, returning the same love back to us. And not just by saying it, by their actions. They just flooding over here, buying up everything. They need to go to India and do all of that. They need to go to India, and we're not supposed to be allowing them to do all of that. You're not supposed to be in somebody else's land, buying up property and everything. God said that himself. Because then you allowing your country to be invaded and taken over. That's what happened with the Babylonians. You know? They came in near the children of Judah, and they took all the children, they took all everything they had in the temple and everything else like that. And they took them into captivity. And they took their children into captivity. We're not supposed to be allowing all these foreigners to flood into our country like this. We're not supposed to. And that's a law by God. And I guess God is teaching us a lesson right now. But it's time for us to start cleaning it up. These Indians need to get deported just like anybody else. They need to get deported just like the Haitians. They need to get deported just like the Africans. They need to be deported just like the Caribbeans. They need to be deported just like the Chinese or the Koreans or whoever. They all need to go. Because they're not here for the real meaning of America. Are you saying that to me, or are you saying that to what I'm saying? I don't get it. Are you saying me get out? Yeah, exactly, Jen. Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up because I was like saying me, I belong here. I was born and raised here all my life. No, they need to leave. They don't need to be sitting in our politics. I don't think Vivek Ramaswamy is qualified for that position. I'm sorry, and neither is Cash Patel. Neither is Cash Patel. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if they were born here and their parents from an immigrant. They were immigrant parents that brought them here. And no, they need to go and take their skills and they whatever they know and use that in India. They need to be in India, not in America, and not in our government. And exactly what they need to do. And President Trump, he has his prejudice. He would advance them because of the fact that they would kiss up to him. You know, they opportunists. Those Indians, they opportunists. And they would kiss up to him. I wish one of them would ever step to me. I wish they would. Okay? And I have every right to destroy one of them if they ever step to me. I'm serious. Because they don't belong here. And they shouldn't be getting no advancement over my people. There's a lot more qualified black people in there that could have got that position. To be head over FBI. That's like I said, Wesley Hunt. He could have been head over FBI. He don't have to be sitting there in Congress and all that other stuff. He should have been head over FBI. That's the way I feel. And I also feel that what's his name would make a great leader for America, for especially for both sides. Not the Native Americans. Native Americans are Native Americans. I'm talking about these Indians from India. Indian nationals. Native Americans are American. I'm talking about them doggone Indians from India. They dirty, stinking country. And they some nasty people too. They're kicking them out of Canada. All of them up there in Canada. I can't take them people. They rude. They nasty. They smell like curry. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm talking about the ones from. Are you going to be president in 2028? What's your name? Are you running for president? Good. Maybe I'll vote for you. What are you doing? I just might vote for you. I'll vote for you before I vote for JD Vance. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't vote for him. He couldn't find no good American woman to find. He couldn't find a good white American woman to marry. He wouldn't go marry himself an Indian. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, he couldn't find himself a nice white girl. I wonder why he went and found himself an Indian wife, and he couldn't find himself a good white girl, a nice good white girl from college or wherever he found that one at. I'm sure there was plenty of them in to pick from that would have loved to be by his side as he advanced in his career. Them Indian women are nothing but opportunists, and so is they men, and I can't stand them. They always trying to get ahead, and they try to get with the top dog or whoever. He could not find himself a good white American girl. That's sad. That he went and picked himself an Indian woman, and I am not voting for him. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell I would do that. I'm sorry. I'll vote for Marco Rubio before I pick J.D. Vance, even though I don't think neither one of them are qualified. I don't think neither one of them are qualified. To be honest with you, to be president of the United States, it's time to give a black man a chance. I'm sorry. It's time to give a black man a chance. We didn't get a chance to pick who we wanted to pick. They gave us who they wanted to give us, Obama. No, I want what's his name? Scott Turner. I want Scott Turner. I like Scott Turner. I think he'll do a great job in leadership of this nation. I'm sorry, he will do a great job. Now, I'm not even saying identity politics, because when I do want to pick a black person, I definitely will pick somebody like him. I will definitely pick him. I think he will be better than J.D. Vance, and I think he will be better than Marco Rubio. Because the white man, he's been very messy. He's been very greedy, very messy, very unfair. And I think that he would do a much better job than what Obama did for black America. I believe he would do a much better job for black Americans because he had the black American experience. He has more connection to us. And then, his own life experience here in America. He didn't grow up international. He grew up right here in the United States of America as a black man. So him or Wesley Hunt will do good for security over this country. I know he would. And I think that they being overlooked for some Indian, oh hell no. That's not good. Because see, they want to pick people that don't want to challenge the system. And I'm not saying that Wesley and them will challenge the system. I'm just saying they will put everything in the right place. And I believe they will do it right and it will be fair. They will use good judgment. They will use good, fair judgment with people. And I think they would put America first. Ain't no Native Americans. They don't really have that in them as politicians and rulers and stuff. They not into stuff like that. That's not their nature. If they was, they would have been a Native American president, but they never took interest in politics. Native Americans, they have a whole different mindset than the white European American and from the experience of the black American from the slaves. No, they don't. They have a totally different mindset for this nation. That wouldn't be a good idea. Some people is just not made to be that. Some people are just not built for that kind of leadership. Some people just don't come with them. It just don't come with them. But I definitely know that, as speaking for Black America, I definitely know that Wesley Hunt, because I heard him speak, and I heard how he broke down things in Congress when he had to talk about things about, people coming from places and they using what they failed in doing because of their, and that's true though. Black America, they tell us to get up on our bootstraps, but what if you ain't got no boots? Pull yourself up on your bootstraps when you ain't got no boots. I don't know about all of that. Genocide, whatever. Let me tell you something. A lot of them, I don't know. I can't really tell you much about I can't tell you about the American Indian experience because I don't really, I mean, there's so much controversy behind around all of that. Because to be honest with you, I don't think this land belonged to nobody at one time. I just think it was just people living here. And I just think it just started to become people fighting over certain property, and then they purchased it, and then these people, they made a purchase, and it was just what it is. I don't think nobody stole anything from anybody. People went to war and they fought about it, and they won. It's just what happens. And then some of the land was purchased. It was purchased. And you can't take back something once you purchased it. When they made it, they made a deal because settlers was coming. People were coming from all different places of the world, but it was the French, it was the Indians, it was the American Indians that was here. It was the French, it was the Spanish. It was all kind of people that was fighting over this, over America at the time. And if you go through the history, it's very complex. I don't think at no time, I think the black man was here, the white man was here, the red man was here. That was what was going on. And it wasn't America then. So it didn't come America. This didn't come America until 1776. That's where people get confused at. You don't know that. You don't know that, sir. You don't know that. The natives was not here. The black Americans were here too. Black people were here too. That's why it was and those who got captured in wars became servants. It happened. American Indians were here, the blacks were here, white people were settlers coming here from all over the places of the world. Christopher Columbus story. That's why I say you gotta leave Christopher Columbus story there. Because people were already over here. We just didn't become America until 1776. People were escaping from Europe, and because of the kings and the rulership there, and people were coming from all kind of places escaping for freedom. And they came and they built their lives and they settled here in America. The Indians were living here, the white people were living here, settlers were coming from Europe, and then you had people coming here that was already here from Africa. Well, it was black people living here already. You ain't see the movie 12 Years of a Slave? It was free black people living on free land until free. They were living free right there in these places before it went to war. I forgot which war that was. That's not true. The native was not here longer than any. See, that's why if they was here longer than anybody, then why they ain't running America then? Tell me. Nobody, let me tell you, they went to war. They went to war, and if you go through your American history, you're going to find out there was more than just the Civil War, the Revolution War, and all of, they had other types of war in the 1600s, even before then. And it was black people living on this land too. Some blacks were caught in captivity and they were put in slavery. You ain't see the movie 12 Years of a Slave? The man went looking for his family, wherever, and he ended up being captured and put on a plantation for 12 years, and he was a free man, and they made him a slave. That's what happened. Not every black person came over here on no with the African, not everybody was black came here on a boat from Africa as a slave. There were blacks already living here on this land. But they gonna keep telling you the slave story, but that's not always true. There was free black men and women right here in America living before the slave came in, the slave market came in. We didn't become just always, this is American history. American history didn't start until 1776. That's American history. Before then, this was not America. It was not. Yes, we were. It was all kind of people coming over here fighting for this land. You see, people didn't learn all of this stuff. You got to go deeper than the surface. You got to figure it out for yourself. You got to figure it out for yourself, okay? And if you're not connected to God, He can't open your eyes to see it. People were already here on this land. People were living right here in America, right here on the land. A lot of Europeans were dying when they came, settlers were dying because they didn't have the medicine or anything else. Look at it. Look at the Christopher Columbus story. 1492. America sailed the ocean blue. He was an explorer. Remember, he was an explorer. And his story is very important because in 1492, he was here. He was dropping off. He had brought some Indians with him. And he thought they were Africans. I mean, not Africans. They were black. They were black. And if you could look at some of the black people, if you could look in some of the black American faces, you're going to see the American Indian in them. Like, I could give you, like, somebody like Tina Turner. That is an American Indian black woman. Okay? She's a black American Indian. If you look at Tina Turner, look at the facial structure and the bone structures in her face. Tina Turner she's American Indian. Black American Indian. Yes, she is. You could look at her. And there's a whole lot of other black American Indians. You just don't understand that. Not every black person that looked that way, their ancestors were raped. You could see it in her face. Lynette McGee. She looks very fair skinned. She played in Sparkle, the movie Sparkle. She's American Indian. She looks black. She's a black American Indian. They look very fair skinned. They look very fair skinned. Sometimes they got a little reddish tone to them, a little golden tone to them, and they got very high cheekbones. What's her name again? Another actress. Oh my God. She played this Foxy Brown or whatever. She's still around. She's American Indian. She's black, but she's also a black American Indian. What is her name? Oh God. Good morning. Good morning, Matthew. If you look at Tina Turner, and then you look at what's her name again? I said Lynette McGee. She played in the movie Sparkle with not what's her name again? She died. Irene Cara. She played in that movie with Irene Cara. She's American Indian. So is, what is her name again? She is, what is her name? That play. Let me find out her name, y'all. She's American Indian, and if you look at my father, I just cook up from my mother's side, but you look at that side, they got very high cheekbones. I gotta show you who they are. These people were here before, and even in some of their ways, you could just see it. Let me see. I have to Google her. I'm not spreading no misinformation. Y'all just don't do your research. You got to do your research, okay? I can't tell you something and you ain't. But if you don't believe it, then you just don't have to believe it. I'm not giving you misinformation. I'm giving you something that you can build on. There's some things that you can go in and do your own research and do and look it up for yourself. White people came here as settlers and from Europe and everything. And before, look at the year 1492 is when Christopher Columbus was supposed to come here. So basically, he brought some people that was Spanish here. Because he was from Spain. I mean, he came from Spain. So, of course, he had to have some people on the ship with him that came that was Spaniards. Christopher Columbus was Italian. He was from Genoa. Genoa. He was from that little island from Italy, from Genoa. And he went to Spain to get the help that he needed. And not only did he go to Spain to get his 3 ships. You study the American history story, you will find out that there were people living on this land, not just only Indians, but he just had to show there was other people living over there. Dark-skinned people. He went to the West Indies. We didn't become America until 1776, and we did our constitution and everything. We claimed this country, this land, this nation. It wasn't America until 1776. You can't claim and say we was here for. No. When it became America, it became America in 1776. 1492, it wasn't America. It was just land here. It was places that he was going, that they had people living there already. Dark-skinned people like me were already living on these lands, even in Cuba, even in Jamaica, even all over the world. There's been dark-skinned people all over the world when God scattered everybody. The rainbow. Come on. Native Americans were not just the only people living over here. Okay? All I'm saying is that if you want to know more about this stuff, it's just you got to do your own research. I said go and do your research. Start from Christopher Columbus. Go and read your books. Go to the library. There's libraries out there. You could even go online and just search some history about what wars took place before 1776, before we won our independence from Europe. America won its independence from Europe. Go through that history and then you could figure it out. Okay? And some people just don't want to hear that. They just don't want to hear it. I don't know what else to tell you. Either you believe or you don't believe. You have to do your own research. You got to get your mind to understand things, to open up. Other than that, then you're going to stay in the state of mind you're in. Sir. Yeah. I made those things. Always Sir, I already told you what book I told you to go look into. Go and do your research. Start with Christopher Columbus. I already told you. I'm not going to tell you no more. You can start with the Bible. You can start with the Bible and you can start reading history books. And then you'll start to open up your mind to understand that there were people living here on this land way before it became America. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Either you want to open up a book and go, you talking about give you the name of the book. I already gave you the name of the book. I already told you. Go to the library, start from reading a book on American history. You can start with the story on Christopher Columbus. You can go and do your research, and then you can sit down, take notes, and then you'll figure it out. There was all kind of people here on this land before it became America. But the white European dominated. Okay? They dominated. That's all I'm saying. People had their wars. They had their fights. They had came with something that the Indians couldn't fight them with. Do your history on how they started having rifles and guns and everything. That's how they was able to wipe them out. And cannons and all that other stuff. Which these people didn't have. The weapons to fight with. This land was made up of all different groups of people before it became America. This land don't belong to nobody but God. That's why we say in our flag, in God we trust. That's why we say everything is in God's name. Everybody was here before that. Black people were living over here already. They had the Spanish Indians. They had the Spanish Indians that were living over here. The Spaniard, French. Some spoke Spanish, some spoke French. But the English dominated. I can't really read your comments in this section. I really can't read your comments in this section. In those days, people didn't travel the way we travel today. We travel by water. I'm sorry, we traveling now by the airplanes. But back then, they traveled by water. Why are you calling me names? If you're not gonna be if you're gonna be disrespectful, sir, I think you need to get off my chat. Get out my chat. If you're gonna be disrespectful, we can't have this conversation. I'm sorry. Nobody is disrespecting you. You being very disrespectful. You need to go. You need to go because you being disrespectful. You don't understand something, then you don't understand. But you don't got to come in here and be disrespectful. And that's what's wrong with people. They don't understand something. They got to cuss you out. Don't cuss at me. Because I didn't cuss at you. Don't disrespect me because I didn't disrespect you. You can't understand something, and I just told you what you need to do. If that's what you want, if that's not what you want to do, then don't do it. But I'm just saying. I already gave you all the information you needed to know. Okay. Well, anyway, to what I was saying. Wait, I have to be right back because I have to go do something. Okay, I am back in effect. Okay, what's going on here? I'm not getting up early in the morning arguing with people. Okay, thank you. I'm not getting on here arguing with people this morning. But like I said, if you really want to find out something, you're going to go do your research. I'm not going to sit up here, and this is not what my conversation was basically all about anyway. I was talking about deportation, and I was talking about why America needs to start getting rid of everybody, because when it comes to American people, if God forbid we go into a famine, drought, wherever, we don't have nobody that's going to open their doors and give us the same kindness and opportunities that we have given everybody else. We see that now that, President Trump said people to help him fight with against this war or whatever, and people would not help. They would not help. They didn't offer their help. So, this should tell us something right then and there. So this is time for America to start closing its doors to people. And this is costing a whole lot of money, whether you know it or not. This immigration stuff is putting a real strain on us. It's really putting a strain on the economy with immigration. And that's why, he got to crack down on these Indians just as much as he got to track down on anybody else. Because these Indians, they coming over here, they migrating over here too much too. They just as bad as coming over here as the Muslims. The Muslims, I noticed that in Canada that they trying to get rid of them out there in Canada. They trying to get rid of them up there. It's just gotten to that point. You know, it's just gotten to that point in America now that America needs to just shut its doors. If I'm reading false bullshit, then why you staying here on my channel? You just get up in the morning. Wait. I don't know if you talking to me. I'm sorry. It wasn't me. Yeah. Anything that's not about white history. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's just some people that just got that ignorance in them. I know, I see you, Cal Montgomery. Thank you. Thank you. You know, yeah, it's just people that just don't want to hear the truth. They want to challenge you. Oh, the history books are in the library. Go there and read them. 1492. America wasn't America. All America wasn't America in 1619. That's when black people was discovered being in America. 1619. We've been here since 1619 when they discovered us here. So why can't you just go do your research? I don't have to tell you no book. I don't have to tell you that once you start from the Bible, God will open your mind so you can go and do the rest. Okay? This land was people on this land, but it was dominated, and it was the white settlers that came from Europe that dominated, and they was the ones who just like took some people into captivity and ran some people off the land. Point blank period. Look at the Mexicans. That should tell you something. Over there on the border of Texas and California, in those areas right there. Because most of those Mexicans, well, were the Spaniard Indians. They was the Aztecs or whatever you want to call them. Do your research from there. The Indians, they look like Indians, American Indians. If you look at the Mexicans, exactly. We all had that animal instinct inside of us until the mind develops. And the mind don't develop when you don't have a relationship with God. When you have a relationship with God, He will elevate your mind to see a broader understanding of human beings. The minds back then were very ignorant, savages. And people are like that. When you stay in the flesh, you become a savage. But you got to get into the spirit, is where you can see other human beings as yourself. You could start seeing humanity. See, when you only just see one race, that makes you ignorant. But God made us all in His own image. And He gave everybody their own identity. That's why I was saying J.D. Vance couldn't find no good white woman to marry. He had to go and marry himself an Indian woman. He couldn't find a good American white woman. I always question people like that. Like, you go and marry somebody out of your culture and your customs, and that's what you like. And I don't know. I always question that. Because is it really truly love, or is it control? Or they more docile and they easier to control. Because sometimes it's not love. It's not love. People are like, oh, he loves it. I don't know about all of that. But I try to stay out of people's but I look at that too as far as like who I would want in my nation leading me. I look at the spouse. I always take a look at who their spouses are before I decide, like, if it's equally yoked, if they have an if their marriage is equally yoked, like nobody's controlling nobody. You both are the same, on the same level of. Cause me myself, I don't think I could ever completely love a white man. I'm sorry. I always got to think back on my history of what these people done to my people. I don't think I could ever find myself in a marriage with a white man or dating a white man. Well, I'm too old for all of that stuff now through experience. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I have an aunt, she's married to a white man and she loved him and they've been together forever, so they made it and everything, but they started when they were young, very young. And she had to give up her whole family just to be with him. She barely communicates with us, and that's sad. When you got to give up your family to be with somebody, then that's not love. That's kind of like, I ain't giving up my family. Hell to the no, because I know one day I'm going to need them again. I don't know any blacks that own slaves. That's a lie. That's a double lie. Wait, white people will make up anything in history just to make themselves justified. You know, they evil to justify their evil. They try to say black people. What about blacks that own slaves? I ain't, only thing I know is about America, boo boo. The American history of slaves. And the American history of slaves was very brutal. Very. Okay? You white people were like real animals. You were barbaric. You would cut babies out of a damn woman's womb. You would rape women. You were rapists. You killed babies. You burned down people's churches. You burned crosses. You terrorized, and you still do the same thing. You'll find any way to justify your evil. Repent. Repent. Y'all just don't want to get it. I ain't never heard of no history of slavery as brutal as I heard of the white man's slavery and his cruelty to human beings. His evil that he has committed against, and even the crimes he committed against God himself, by painting an image of a Jesus that was white with blue eyes. That right there was a sin against God, and God will never. God said this is not him. He said make no graven images of him. And what did the white man do? He went and made himself look like God. Okay? You are the most evilest people that live on this in this world. God already cursed you from the beginning who you are. You are Satan. You are Satan. Because you went and fooled the whole world that Jesus looked like you. And he don't. He never gave you an image. He only told you his ethnicity. He never told you his, he told you he was a Jew. Those people that walk close to God. But other than that, he never told you his race until the end in Revelations. And then that's when it came, that he came in Revelations. White people are wicked, evil, everything about their nature. Now there's some pretty good ones who serve, who turned their life over to the Lord. Good Christian white people who got the understanding now. But it's a whole lot more of you that it's a long way to go. 'Cause you made your Jesus look like you. Okay? You made God look like you. And try to fool the whole world. And still got some people messed up with that. God already told you who you are. You Satan. You wicked. You have carried the most evilest, brutal against human beings throughout history. Throughout history, you were wicked. From the time you came out of your mother's womb. And you still don't want to repent for your wickedness. All these wars and famines and killing and diseases came from you. Came from you. But anyway, y'all, I gotta go. God bless you. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed Tuesday. I'll get back with you all later because I gotta get myself together to go run and do some errands and get into my I gotta go and do my work because I work from home, but I gotta get myself together. But I just wanted to just come and share this with y'all this morning. I just wanted to come. Revelations 1:17, boo. Go there. Okay. So with that being said, I love you. God bless you. And